Hello, my name is Darren Joseph with HJ.tax. We're a team that seeks to demystify the sometimes confusing world of cross-border taxation. And today we have the honor and the privilege of speaking to Timur. Timur, would you like to introduce yourself to those that don't already know who you are?
Hello, Darren. Thank you for your kind invitation to join the webinar today. Well, my name is Timur. I am, first of all, an investment migration professional. I've been working in the industry since 2014. 2020, we've established a company called World Talents, since we've seen there was a huge demand in the market, and the currents were telling us that there needed to be an alternative to the golden visas, especially in Europe, since there was a lot of criticism from the EU towards the classical investment migration programs.
Absolutely. And today we're going to focus on Portugal. Could you talk more to the physical presence requirements? Is it that there are none? Or what is the minimum amount of time should one reasonably expect to spend in Portugal under this program?
Well, so physical presence requirements are the most demanding ones to be explained.
Okay.
As I mentioned a little bit earlier, it is only correct to say that the special rules for physical presence requirement exist for the golden visa. That is it. What's important to know is that no matter how one obtained their residency, under certain conditions, they will still be intact with the legal requirements for physical presence if their absence is justified by the grounds of their residency. Since our clients are getting the residency based on the contract with the university, which requires them to be outside Portugal, it provides them with certain flexibility. Although that flexibility comes from the exclusion from the general rule, not from the special rule, which is applied to a certain type of residency. That is why it is important to always stress towards the audience and that the physical presence requirements are standard. One is supposed to be in the country, although there is a special rule which we apply, which allows our clients to be outside the country. So far, we haven't had a single question from the immigration authorities with our cases, but there is always a risk. Therefore, our service agreements are structured in a way that a client will receive a certain refund in case the residency permit is not extended.
Okay, all right. So generally speaking, residency requirements for those on the pathway to citizenship are 6 in a calendar year, 6 consecutive months, or 9 and 12, right? So 9 months in the 12. So you're saying under this program, there is a degree of flexibility, but there's nothing written. So basically, the longer you spend, the better off you're going to be. But the less time you spend in Portugal, there's a risk that there may be issues with either the renewal of the residency or the citizenship application. But up until this point, they have not questioned it. But they could in the future. They could. Is that a fair summary?
I would correct you slightly. So there is a legal there is an article in the legislation which explains how you can be outside and why you can be outside, and then you will still be considered in compliance with the physical presence requirements, but that's a general rule. So in order to comply with that general rule, we had to create the relationship with the universities in a certain manner. As for the rest, it is correct.
Okay. So in other words, if I'm to summarize it correctly, so for the time, if it is that one intends not to be resident in Portugal for a period of time during the calendar year, it will be wise to have a conversation with you / the university to make sure that that situation doesn't create issues later on. Is that fair enough?
For every client, we have a curriculum which we put in place and ensure that we fulfill the necessary requirements of cooperation.
Okay. Right. Okay. Right. So the physical presence requirements are driven by the curriculum.
So that is not correct. So the physical presence requirements are very simple, as you've explained them before. Right. When the clients are outside the country, they're outside the country because that's that is required by the nature of their contract with the university. No matter how much time they spend outside the country, in reality, if it's not the requirement, that's already the failure. Although, since the contract is allowing them to be outside and is demanding them to be outside, then no matter how little time they spend, it is still going to be in line with the requirements when they go for an extension.
Okay. Does the contract specify in terms of days how much time they can spend outside, or is it subject to discussion?
No, it does not specify. It is subject to an individual case always.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.